You're staring at that glazed donut right now, aren't you? The average American consumes a staggering 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily. That's 270 calories of pure nutritional emptiness. But what if I told you that just 14 days without sugar could completely transform your body? I've analyzed the research and tested this myself to bring you the shocking truth about what happens when you kick sugar to the curb. How does your face literally change shape, your brain function improve, and those stubborn fat stores finally start melting away? We'll uncover the 7 remarkable transformations your body undergoes when sugar isn't sabotaging it from within. By the end of this video, that donut might not look so tempting anymore. Let's dive into the sweet science of going sugar-free. Day 1-3, the withdrawal phase. Let's get real for a second. The first 72 hours of quitting sugar, they're going to test you. Your body's been running on that easy glucose hit for so long that it's basically forgotten how to access your fat stores. It's like having a mansion full of fuel, but forgetting where you put the keys. Day 1 hits and your brain is sending out desperate signals. Where's my sugar fix? This isn't just psychological, it's biochemical warfare. Your dopamine receptors, the same ones activated by certain drugs, are screaming for that sweet hit they've grown accustomed to. Studies from Princeton University have shown that sugar withdrawal activates many of the same brain regions as withdrawing from substances like nicotine or morphine. You might experience headaches that feel like tiny construction workers are hammering inside your skull, fatigue that makes climbing stairs feel like scaling Mount Everest, and mood swings. Let's just say your friends and family might want to keep their distance. One minute you're fine, the next you're contemplating whether it's legal to yell at a stranger for eating a candy bar too loudly. But here's what's actually happening behind the scenes. Your body is rapidly depleting its glycogen stores. That's the sugar stored in your muscles and liver. Each gram of glycogen holds onto about 3 grams of water, which means as you burn through these stores, you're also releasing water. A lot of water. This explains the frequent bathroom trips during these first few days. That's not fat melting away yet. It's your body releasing water weight. But don't be disappointed. This process is crucial because it signals that your body is transitioning to its alternative fuel system. By day 3, something magical starts happening. Your body, realizing that the sugar delivery truck isn't coming, finally finds those metabolic keys and starts reluctantly turning to fat for fuel. It's like your cells are saying, fine, if we must, and this is where the real transformation begins. Days 4-7, the energy shift. Just when you thought you couldn't take another day of feeling like you've been hit by a truck fueled by sugar withdrawal, something incredible happens around day 4. It's like someone flipped a switch in your energy system. Remember that car battery analogy? Your body has been trying to run on that tiny choke-away battery of glucose, constantly needing recharges throughout the day. But now, you're switching to that massive lithium-ion battery pack called fat storage. Even if you're relatively thin, you're carrying around approximately 100,000 calories of potential energy just waiting to be tapped. This is where the miracle of metabolic flexibility begins to show itself. Instead of the roller coaster of energy highs after meals, followed by those dreaded crashes that had you reaching for afternoon snacks, you start experiencing something entirely different: sustained energy. By day 5, most people report a strange phenomenon. They completely forget to eat. Not because they're forcing themselves to fast, but because their body is happily munching away on internal fat stores. That constant, nagging hunger that used to dictate your daily schedule? Gone. Vanished. Like it never existed. Your brain is also experiencing a revolution. Those mental fog banks that would roll in during the afternoon, they start to clear. Focus sharpens. Concentration deepens. Your cognitive function improves so dramatically that you might find yourself tackling complex tasks with a clarity you haven't felt since childhood. This happens because your brain actually prefers ketones, the energy molecules produced when breaking down fat, over glucose for many functions. They're a cleaner burning fuel that produces fewer inflammatory byproducts. Think of it as switching from coal to solar power for your brain cells. By day 7, you're no longer fighting cravings. They've substantially diminished or disappeared entirely. The sight of that break room donut that once would have occupied your thoughts for hours barely registers. You've done it. You've broken free from sugar's grip, but this is just the beginning. Your body is only starting to reveal what it's capable of when it's not constantly battling excess glucose. Days 8-10. The physical transformation begins. Now we're entering the phase where people around you start to notice something's different. Have you lost weight? Your skin looks amazing. Did you get Botox? Nope, just quit sugar. Let's talk about your face first, because this transformation is so dramatic it's often the first thing people notice. That puffy, slightly inflamed look that you might have chalked up to just how I look, that was sugar-induced water retention and inflammation. As your insulin levels stabilize, and they really start to normalize during this phase, your body stops holding on to excess water. Your facial contours become more defined. Cheekbones emerge that you forgot you had. Jawlines sharpen. It's like your face has been hiding behind a sugar mask, and now the real you is emerging. But the changes aren't just skin deep. Inside your eyes, yes, your actual eyeballs, remarkable healing is taking place. The delicate blood vessels in your retinas, which can become damaged by excess sugar, leading to diabetic retinopathy, begin to recover. People report clearer vision, less blurriness, and reduced need for prescription changes. Your kidneys, which have been working overtime filtering all that excess glucose, finally get a break. The microscopic filtering units called nephrons begin to heal from sugar-induced damage. This results in more efficient kidney function and, bonus, less getting up at night to urinate. Around day 9, most people notice their clothes fitting differently. That stubborn belly fat, which is often the most dangerous kind because it surrounds your organs, begins to shrink. This happens because when insulin levels drop and stay consistently low, your body can finally access those fat stores it's been desperately trying to burn. Let me explain the science. Insulin is essentially a fat storage hormone. When it's elevated due to sugar consumption, your body is locked in fat storage mode. When insulin drops, the lock is removed, and fat burning can begin in earnest. This is particularly noticeable around your midsection because abdominal fat is especially responsive to insulin signals. By day 10, you're not just losing weight, you're specifically losing fat while preserving or even building muscle. This happens because stable blood sugar promotes optimal hormone function, including growth hormone and testosterone, which are crucial for maintaining lean muscle mass. This period is when people often say they feel like they're aging backward, and in some metabolic ways, they actually are. Days 11 to 14, the internal revolution. In these final days of your 2-week sugar-free journey, the most profound changes are happening deep inside where you can't see them, but you can certainly feel them. Let's start with your arteries. Excess sugar causes inflammation in your arterial walls, making them stiff and less flexible. As you approach the 2-week mark of being sugar-free, this inflammation begins to subside significantly. Your arteries become more elastic, allowing blood to flow more freely. The result? Your blood pressure often normalizes without medication. This is not small potatoes. Studies show that arterial stiffness is a major predictor of cardiovascular events. By reducing this stiffness, you're not just feeling better, you're potentially adding years to your life. Your liver, that incredible detoxifying powerhouse, is perhaps the most grateful organ during this phase. When bombarded with sugar, particularly fructose, your liver converts excess amounts to fat, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. But after nearly 2 weeks sugar-free, your liver begins shedding this excess fat. Liver enzymes, which are often elevated in people consuming high-sugar diets, begin to normalize. Throughout your body, inflammatory markers are dropping like stocks in a market crash. C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, tumor necrosis factor alpha. These inflammatory chemicals that contribute to chronic diseases are significantly reduced. Got joint pain? Many report substantial improvement as systemic inflammation decreases. Your gut microbiome, those trillions of bacteria living in your digestive tract, undergoes a radical transformation during this period. The harmful bacteria that thrive on sugar begin to die off, while beneficial bacteria flourish. This rebalancing affects everything from your mood, to your immune system, to your ability to absorb nutrients. Speaking of mood, by day 14, most people report significant improvements in mood stability. The sugar-induced dopamine roller coaster has stopped, and natural mood regulation returns. Anxiety often decreases, depression lifts, and emotional resilience improves. This happens partly because your brain is now running on a more stable fuel source and partly because your gut microbiome, which produces many neurotransmitters, has healthier composition. Perhaps most importantly, your insulin sensitivity dramatically improves by the end of these 2 weeks. Cells that were once resistant to insulin's signals now respond appropriately. This metabolic reset is profound because insulin resistance lies at the heart of not just diabetes, but also obesity, heart disease, and even some cancers. So here we are at the end of our 14-day journey, and the transformation is nothing short of remarkable. Let's recap what's happened to your body. Your face has literally changed shape, with reduced puffiness and more defined features. The mirror doesn't lie. The difference is often striking enough that people assume you've had cosmetic work done. You've lost actual fat, not just water weight. While those first few pounds were indeed water, by day 14, you've tapped into real fat stores, particularly around your midsection. And unlike typical diets where you're fighting hunger every step of the way, this fat loss has happened without constant cravings. Your energy levels have stabilized at a consistently high level. No more 3 p.m. slumps that have you reaching for caffeine or sugar. You wake up energized and stay that way until bedtime. Your cognitive function has significantly improved. Mental clarity, focus, and concentration are sharper than they've been in years. Complex tasks seem easier, and decision fatigue is reduced. Your mood has stabilized. The emotional highs and lows that you might have attributed to your personality were actually sugar-induced mood swings. Without sugar, you experience more emotional equilibrium. Inflammation throughout your body has dramatically decreased. Joint pain, skin issues, digestive problems, many of these inflammatory conditions show remarkable improvement. Your metabolic health markers have improved across the board. Blood pressure, cholesterol levels, triglycerides, blood glucose, and insulin levels are all moving in the healthier direction. But perhaps the most profound change isn't measurable on any scale or blood test. It's the sense of freedom, the realization that you're no longer controlled by cravings or held hostage by hunger. You've broken free from the sugar prison that most people remain trapped in for their entire lives. Now, does this mean you can never enjoy a sweet treat again? Of course not. But after these 2 weeks, your relationship with sugar has fundamentally changed. You're no longer its servant. You're in control. A small dessert on a special occasion is a choice you make, not a compulsion you can't resist. The question isn't whether you can give up sugar for 14 days. The real question is, after experiencing how good your body is designed to feel, why would you ever want to go back? So next time you're tempted by that glazed donut, remember, your body is capable of incredible transformation. And it only takes 14 days to discover what life beyond sugar really tastes like. Spoiler alert, it tastes like freedom.